Welcome, excuse me. Welcome, dear friends, to another study of the book Courage by several spirit authors through the mediumship of Francisco Xavier. What a blessing to be here with you today. We are, after all, here to learn, to nourish our souls, to grow together. I am blessed and honored to be with you today with this book, studying with you through Kardec Radio at the Spirit Society of Richmond in Richmond, Virginia. And today's chapter is by the Spirit Emmanuel. And he has labeled this message Life and Death. Isn't that interesting? So let's see what Emmanuel has to teach us today. Life is light, selflessness, joy, and movement. Death is darkness, selfishness, discouragement, and idleness. Observe the living forces that are surrounding you, and you will see that nature is made of work and love, thus ensuring your well-being. It is like a tree growing intensively from various sources, in constant activities, thus guaranteeing new life. It is also the atmosphere remaking incessantly the elements in which it preserves health and balance. However, not far away, you can equally see death in a well where its waters are rotten, in a rust hole, or in a deteriorated fruit. It is up to you to awake or to wake up and live, valuing the time that the Lord has entrusted to you, thus spreading the gift of helping, learning, loving, and serving. Many people are born and reborn in the physical body, passing from childhood to old age, and from the grave to the cradle as souls, which thoughtlessly attach themselves to selfishness, revolt, idleness, and inequities. They utilize Earth's resources without retribution, receive benefits without paying them back, demand help without any impulse of cooperation, and absorb all forces of any kind that they find. They are like opportunists consuming everything without any benefit for the world that shelters them. Such individuals are really dead people in need of help and mercy, even though still very distant from the enlightenment they should search for. They rather remain in idleness, immersed in darkness. Because of this, remember the gifts with which God has ennobled your sentiments, reasoning, your brain, and your heart. They are instruments through which you may disseminate goodness using your speech and sound and hands. Excuse me. Therefore, awake and live so that from the fragmentary experiences of the human apprenticeship, you may one day raise yourself towards eternal life. Unquote by Emmanuel. What did you think? Isn't it interesting to think of nature working in love to ensure our well being? He gives the example of a tree growing from various sources. And what do trees do? They provide shade, they provide oxygen, all the plants do, shade, fruits, nourishment, When they are harvested, then we can build houses and construct things with them. It's work, right? And then he says, and elsewhere you see death, because he says life is light, selflessness, joy, and movement. He didn't say life is enjoyment forever in a cruise ship, right? Which a lot of us would like to do. He says death is darkness, selfishness, discouragement, and idleness. So every time we engage in selfishness, discouragement, and idleness, which means laziness, right? We're not doing much. We can be busy and still not do much for the common good. Then we are engaging in death. And as he says here, he says, the people who go from childhood to old age, from the grave to the cradle, meaning reincarnate, we attach themselves to revolt, outness, and inequities. We don't want to be those who get the resources without retribution. We just take. We're seeing a lot of these in our on our world today, unfortunately. We just want to take. We're entitled. We want to take, enjoy. We're not giving back to Mother Earth. We're not giving back to our communities, to our families. They receive benefits without paying them back. Demand without impulseful cooperation. And absorb all forces of any kind they find. I'll confess to you that I thought he was going to call these people vampires, because that's what they're parasites too, right? Parasites. If you were to have a parasite on you, let's say in America, it would be a tick, right? The tick attaches to you, to the animals. Usually, there are different types of ticks, but let's say the deer, and you go hiking in the mountains, the tick attacks to you. What's the tick doing for you? Nothing. Might even give you Lyme disease. What the tick is doing is taking your resources. That's a parasite. They are like opportunists consuming everything without any benefit for the world. We don't want to do this. We want to be beneficial. We want to prune. We want to work on ourselves, know what's lacking, try improve so that we can give it back. Because we see a lot, and maybe we're doing this too. Every weekend is for us, for our families, for our activities. There's never time to give back. And how can you give back? You know of these. You know of these. You may know a spiritist group next to you. Give back on the weekend. Go help the discarnates. Go pray with the group. Go study. Go improve yourselves. There'll always be museums. When you go back to the spiritual realm, nobody's going to look at your passport. I'm like, oh, beautiful. You've traveled to 60 countries. Great. What did you do while you were there? Did you help anybody? A lot of people are going for the clicks, for the likes, for the pictures, but they're not adding to the community. Just taking. And as a reminder, Emmanuel is saying, it's up to you, that's you and I, to wake up and live, valuing the time that the Lord has entrusted to us. How are we using the time that the Lord has entrusted to us? In the book Spiritist Conduct, Andrea Luis makes a similar statement. There's a whole chapter on Spiritist conduct towards time. 80 years. If we get to be 80 years old, is nothing compared to eternity. But it's so much valuable time on the earth. There's so many spirits just waiting for the opportunity to reincarnate, and we're here. And so what do we do? It says, thus, he tells you what to do with the time. The good spirits are not vague. They don't say things for the sake of saying. I'm going to read the sentence again. It is up to you to awaken or wake up and live, valuing the time that the Lord has entrusted to you, thus spreading the gift of helping, learning, loving, and serving. We're not here to just enjoy, friends. We are here to help, learn, love, and serve. Imagine it, if tomorrow all 8 billion of us woke up a little bit more inclined to learn, help, love, and serve, how different our planet of trials and expiations would be, right? But it's a process. It's a very slow, gradual process, less like nature. So let's read the last paragraph for today, so we are reminded of what to do. He says, remember the gifts with which God has enabled your sentiments, reasoning, your brain, and your heart. What are the gifts you have in your life? They can be of help to someone else. They are instruments, the gifts are instruments through which you may disseminate goodness using your speech and your hands. So let's speak the good news of the Christ. Let's be proud, like so many on the earth are proud of their religious affiliation. Let's be proud that we got to know Spiritism. Let's support the movement with our speech and hands. Let's do service. Let's feed the hungry. Let's console the afflicted. Let's cure those who are sick. Jesus sent the 12, right? That's what he said to them. I'm paraphrasing, of course. In Matthew, go do the work of helping. There's so, if nothing, for selfish reasons, because those who serve and volunteer are healthier and happier than those who don't. But we don't do this to feel better. We do this because it's the right thing to do. Because we always talk about how we are going to be helping someone. Guess what? Sometimes you are the one who's going to need the help. And wouldn't you want to be treated with kindness and respect and get the help and support you need when you are in need? Therefore, do unto others. Go help, because we don't know what's tomorrow. We don't know if tomorrow God is going to say, wait, you have to go for this again, this time. Let's listen to the inner voice of our conscience, where the divine laws live. Let's use the divine resources that we have as instruments, such as our spirit mentors. And I'm sorry I'm using the word using our mentors, but let's make sure we understand they are available to help us. So we, just as you have a personal trainer in the gym, you use their time that you set aside to get some physical activity. Let's get the spiritual activity, spiritual muscle development of service to others. So let's meditate on life. Let's meditate on death. Let's be the ones who give to all who are around us in both realms of life, anywhere in the world you are. Dear friends, what a blessing to be with you today. God willing, I'll return next week with another chapter of the book Courage. Until then, may you stay well, may you stay safe. I hope to see you soon.